guys, thanks for clicking today's Reddit D Rose report. Hey, don't know if you caught it or not, Game 4 of the NBA Finals last night. The San Antonio Spurs played Undertaker's theme song while introducing the Miami Heat. Kind of a dig, huh? WWE's Total Divas, Bella Twins, Natalya, Cameron, Naomi, Marie, and JoJo Offerman met with Susan G. Komen, honorees at a recent Raw live event in Richmond, Virginia. Footage is going to be on the E! Show this summer, which I'll be glad when that comes on. They got a lot of footage jammed into that. Remember, Total Divas. WWE's website recently spoke to Fandango about being pulled from the upcoming Payback pay-per-view. The triple threat Intercontinental titles on the line. Anyway, he says, if I'm not in a match, I don't care anything about it at all. If I had to make a prediction, I'd say Barrett hangs on to it. Said, I don't think Curtis Axel will even come close to the caliber of a superstar like Fandango. Barrett is obviously a tough bare-knuckle fighter. Axel's a brawler himself. Miz, however, is a pretty boy from Hollywood. Said, I hope Barrett and Axel puts a few scars on his face. Man. WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus tweeted a pregnancy update to the fans this week. She says, I'm officially not able to see my toes anymore, belly bump problems. Well, Trish, if you wouldn't call the cops and let me close to you, I'd report to you back on your toes. Really. During a recent interview with DigitalSpy.com to promote Sunday's Payback pay-per-view, WWE TV personality, good old Paul Heyman spoke about the comment that Dixie Carter had tweeted that she would like to do a TNA versus WWE Payback pay-per-view sometime. Oh, not a payback, but a pay-per-view sometime. And Heyman understands where she's coming from, but thinks WWE would be crazy to work with TNA. Really no offense to them, but here's his analogy. I'm sure Dixie would love to do a WWE versus TNA pay-per-view. Why wouldn't she? Let's say a friend of mine has way too much time on his hands, just started a new beverage company in the U.S. He would like to go with a global promotion with Coca-Cola. Says, I don't suggest Coca-Cola would be profitable having to do a global promotion with Schmudley's Soda Company. The same way it would make no sense for WWE with a 95% global share to do an event with TNA and its 5% global share. So, in other words, what good would it be for WWE unless they just want to look like the good guy and nice guy? And now, really, I don't know whether they would end up getting any extra pay-per-view buys on that or not. Where would we be up? If they were to go with a theme like that and end up with a million pay-per-view buys like they do with WrestleMania, that'd be a hell of a deal for TNA. Well, both. So, Vince McMahon commented on CM Punk's return to action on Sunday's Payback pay-per-view. He says on Twitter, I don't know if he tweets or not, expect a big welcome for CM Punk at Chicago Sunday night. I'm first in line. And today would have been the birthday of one-time world-class television champion, Buzz Sawyer would have been 54 years old. Three-man band member Drew McIntyre has been tweeting about a Chosen One revival and wanting to bring his old gimmick back. Said the band rolls strong, but some very astute view, if one were to join Paul Heyman, nobody would make more sense than to toss the Chosen One revival. Heyman says, very interesting. But I think the one three-man band has just gone to just about as far as they can go. I mean, how many more times can they get beat up and still be together? Vince McMahon and Triple H, they've been added to all Raw upcoming shows through July 8th, and we are all happy as hell. Mick Foley, he's going to be hosting a Tales from Wrestling Past post-SummerSlam Slam special Sunday, August 18th at the Hollywood Improv in Hollywood, California. Foley says this year's post-SummerSlam show will be better than last. I'm glad he said that. Last year must have been just terrible. Foley's promising that WWE superstars and divas is all going to be participating just like they did last year. Tickets are only $25, which is good, including a post-show meet and greet. Doors open at 9 o'clock, starts at 9:30. It looks like Chris Jericho's current run in WWE, which I've been mentioning for the last week or so, may end at Money in the Bank or Raw the night after. Jericho likely won't be returning to WWE until around mid-October. And Jericho began his tour with Fuzzy at the end of summer with a UK tour, and in August, around August, and then U.S. Canadian tour from September through about October 10th. One of Fozzy's confirmed date tours is August 18th, the same day as WWE SummerSlam. So, and Hall of Famer Bret Hart will be judging the Improv Comedy Show tonight at the Comedy Bar in Toronto. I don't understand how he got chose for that, because his sense of humor is really dry. As versus mine, which is just terribly damp. CM Punk's going to be writing a foreword for Natalie Slater, her cookbook titled Bake and Destroy, Good Food for Bad Vegans. The book's going to be released August, this says around August. But anyway, I'm glad he's doing the foreword, because if he did the backwards, I wouldn't be able to read the thing. See what I mean by damp humor? Anyway. Here's an updated synopsis for Triple H's DVD. Of course, it's going to do nothing to promote him. Triple H continues to build upon his enduring legacy from the 13-time world champion to COO. Triple H in multiple roles, spanning decades, packed 3 hours. Now, I do want to tell you this. It's probably be a great DVD, but I just got through watching Mick Foley's, and it's great. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes, I believe. And once you get started on it, really don't want to leave it. It's great all the way through. They package it right. They do everything great. Why can't they do that with WWE movies? I don't understand. Better switch the designers around, or whoever writers around. But anyway, I give it a big old thumbs up. It's very good. New WWE developmental talent, Smith James, will be, I don't have it backwards. Will be working his final match before heading to WWE this Saturday for the New York Wrestling Connection, Deer Park, Long Island. WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper is going to play himself in a new role called Smothered. In the movie, Piper is one of 3 celebrities hired to make an appearance haunting a trailer park and wanting to find out that a maniac is stalking them. Film begins shooting in Louisiana. Sounds funny to me. Hey, The Rock tweeted Randy Orton last night. Randy Orton, he says, appreciate you coming over to kiss and hug my mom at a live event. Made her night. Keep kicking ass, brother. See you soon. All right, let's change the channel for a second. TNA's Destination X is going to be airing an episode of Impact Wrestling this year. And it will take place July 18th from Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know what they mean by just an episode of, I'm not sure. We'll find out more later. TNA's 2013 Slammiversary pay-per-view reportedly did about 13,000 buys based on preliminary estimates, which they don't have to put out their pay-per-view buys to anybody. They're wholly owned. They don't have those stock investors and report to them. But Steve Austin tweeted the following about last night's Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles match on Impact. He said, hell of a match between Kurt Angle and AJ Styles, just like the way they took their time. A little cattywampus, he said, on the finish, though. All right, new next week's episode of Impact will be featuring an open night fight. Fans will be able to vote for who gets to make the first call out of the night. Jeff Hardy or Bobby Roode. Mickie James has been receiving praise for her new character. Taryn Terrell has picked up a ton of respect within TNA after her Slammiversary match with Gail Kim, and she is very good. And TNA's Bound for Glory series this year is made up of Jeff Hardy, Bobby Roode, Aries, Styles, Anderson, Samoa Joe, Hernandez, Daniels, Kazarian, Parks, Magnus, and Bradley. Series kicks off this week on Impact, and the winners will get a World Championship title at Bound for Glory this year. The June 6th TNA Impact taping from Duluth, Georgia had barely 2,000 fans in attendance. June 7th live event in Rome, Georgia drew about 1,000, and June 8th in South Carolina drew 800 fans. Here's my analogy of this. You go to a place that's got 200 fans. 200 fans. You only get 10% of the people in town. What is it? 20 fans? You go to a town that's got 2,000 fans, 10%, you get 200 fans. Go to a place that got 20,000 fans, you get a couple of thousand fans. Get to big, I know the overhead would be a lot more expensive, but the bigger the town, the more turnout you'll have. And I'm just sitting here talking to you. I'm sure you're bright enough to understand that yourself. I hope. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.